площадку, может, для опытов. Еще и для тайной лаборатории.
These poor people lost their lives only a few hours ago. They could not survive this mutilation.
And they were steerant. They were cut up like pieces of meat. May the volcano engulf those who did this.
Жестко, жестко. Блин, ничего на весу, что ли? А, он там типа на чем-то зафиксирован.
This note carefully describes the sequence of the experiments. There are even sketches. It's hard not to feel sick. This is proof of all the horrors committed here. Vasily has locked himself in his office.
Afra? What a surprise to see you here. You finally came to your senses.
Master, it's not...
Who is this person?
I'm the legate of the merchant congregation, and I'm here to put an end to your crimes.
My crimes? What are you talking about? My work was for the good of humanity. Don't tell me you're crying over some savages. The survival of our species requires sacrifice.
What did you hope to find from all these experiments?
Since the Malachor never reached this island, I wanted to check if these savages were sensitive to it. And I discovered that they were naturally resistant. Do you realize the implications of this discovery? So I tried to isolate this resistance to develop a cure in order to send it to the people on the continent. But I doubt that you will be able to understand the subtlety of such an approach.
This man is a cold-blooded reptile. My brothers and sisters were no more than ants to him.
You are a very beautiful specimen. When I think of the power flowing through your veins. Come on, Afra, my dear student. Will you let these narrow-minded inquisitors decide my fate? Are you not also devoted to science and truth?
Science and truth do not excuse your lack of humanity. I'm ashamed of having been taught by you, and that I didn't warn Burin that you'd gone mad. If I had, we could have prevented all of this.
You disappoint me so much, Afra. A second time. When I think what I wasted trying to teach you science.
We learned everything we wanted to know. This lab will close and you will answer for everything you have done.
You think so? Guards, capture these people!
Ай, сука, твою мать. Да твою ж. Ты чё? Да ёб твою мать-то, блядь. Не один, так другой. Давай, загружай последнее сохранение.
No, carefully describes the sequence of the experiments. There are even sketches. It's hard not to feel sick. This is proof of all the horrors committed here. Asili has locked himself in his office.
Afra? What?
Master, it's...
Who is this?
I'm the legate of the...
My crime? Don't tell me your crime.
Was finding a cure for the Malachor your only goal?
Of course not. It's the improvement of our species that I aim for. The Malachor is an immediate threat that we must overcome. But my research could yield a lot more. So much more.
This man is a cold-blooded reptile. My brothers and...
You are a very... Come on, Are you not...
Science, I'm ashamed of if I had...
You When I think...
We learned everything we want.
You think so?
Да, блять, опять этот вот пиздюлей получил. Да ты ж, сука.
Think of my knowledge. All that I have accomplished. That can never disappear.
You will answer for your crimes in court.
But I'll be out soon. My colleagues will understand the importance of my work.
We shall see about that.
Зачем она? А, все, понял. О, нифига себе. Вон оно что, сволочи.
I can't believe it. Constantine's Malachor was caused by Asili. The potion we were made to drink when we landed on the island was contaminated. How dare he do such a thing? And why?
Угу.
The mechanism doesn't work. I need to take a closer look.
Надо, наверное, кем-то сказать. Ну ладно.
Let's go. I found a way out of the city. But be careful. You are weakened, and creatures roam these tunnels. I will lead the way.
Угу. Стоп, а туда я как мог попасть? Даже интересно стало. Что я делаю? Чтобы не ремонтировать, что ли? Забавно. Плюющаяся падла.
I need a bit of practice.
Да чтоб тебя. Ты что делаешь, алло? Да ты сволочь, блядь, не прыгает нихуя, вот бесит вот этот уже. Выберет, блядь, какую-нибудь дальнюю нахуй цель и пытается от нее прыгать. Пойдет. Патронов дофига можно обстреливать. Что тут больше никаких ништяков, что ли? Понятно. Тут тоже ничего интересного. Да вот, мать. Ни хера не вижу. Ни хера бы не вижу. Кого я там убил? Кого я убил? Да вашу мать! Еще и борьба на склоне. Да ну нафиг. Дурацкие баги.
You have saved our lives. How can we thank you?
We will never forget what you have done for us on Almenawi.
Yes, we will always be grateful.
We're not very far from the Hikmet outpost. You will have to be careful.
I know how to reach the port without being seen.
Perfect. As for you, you should take refuge in Vikshadir. You will be safe there, but you should avoid the Alliance patrols.
We'll get there. Qua awalem segven.
Все понял, где я. Падай, бычок. Еще один. Да чтоб тебя! Спалил, падла. Столько труда и все впустую.
Hello, Captain.
Your Excellency, what can I do for you?
I must go. Goodbye, Captain.
Goodbye, Your Excellency.
Come closer. Come closer. All my wares are in the back garden.
Ну, он мне теперь ответит за свой.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I've been to Asili's laboratory and what I discovered was abominable. Hundreds of poor souls tortured, victims of horrifying experiments. There were so many dead that a pit had been dug to burn the bodies.
How horrifying. I cannot believe it.
The natives were not the only victims of these crimes. There are also a number of Nauts.
Nauts? Pardon me for doubting you, but do you have proof of what you say? And have you brought Dr. Asili to me so he may answer these accusations?
Yes, we captured him.
Really? Very well. I will ensure that he is judged as quickly as possible. What was done with the prisoners that were being held in the laboratory?
They were freed. The Dinea Exrigau are satisfied and should call off their attack.
What a relief. Finally, some good news. How can I repay you?
By allowing me to take part in the trial proceedings. What I saw merits justice, and I fear that the accused will find a great many defenders amongst his fellow savants.
It is a rather novel request, but granted. I shall inform the prosecutor. Let us remember that the madness of a man should not cast a shadow upon the greater sum of his work. His research is perhaps our only chance of discovering a remedy. Would you like to speak with me about any other subjects?
Can you tell me anything about Dr. Asili?
Asili is a man of remarkable knowledge. One of our most brilliant sages.
You already told me that, Your Excellency.
He is one of those rare men who master alchemy, mathematics, and naturalism with equal assiduity. Anatomy has no secrets for him, and medicine is his passion. Do you realize that it was he who perfected the inoculation technique?
Inoculation? What is that?
A novel treatment that allows us to fabricate immunity to sickness, such as the pox. If any man can find a remedy for the Malachor, it would be him.
Can you tell me anything about Afra?
Don't mind me. I'll just count the shadows.
There now, my dear, you know that I have nothing but praise for you. Afra is one of our greatest naturalists. Her knowledge is infinitely precious to us, and we are happy that she is among your party.
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Так, ну и что там у нас получается? Куда же ты побежал? А, нет, нет, просто есть.
Greetings.
Так, ты не то. О,
Hello. To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Desade. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. Governor Burren told me to pay you a visit.
Oh, it is you who arrested Dr. Asili and must help me prepare the trial.
Exactly.
Excellent. We will have lots to do if we want the doctor to pay for his crimes. The accused has a lot of support. Any evidence and testimonies you can gather will be useful.
We'll have no problem gathering witnesses. His laboratory cells were full of them.
We will call them to the witness box, of course. But be aware that if the victims are natives, their words will unfortunately not carry much weight here.
There were also some noughts. Perhaps I could convince some of the doctor's colleagues to talk.
Their testimony will be crucial. The word of other scholars is likely to be the only thing that condemns him. That plus any material evidence you can gather.
I picked up a strange powder in the laboratory. A substance that I've not been able to identify.
You should show it to an alchemist. We need to know what it is to be able to use it.
These documents describe Dr. Asili's work, as well as the horrible experiments he was performing.
Perfect. I will read them in detail. We will no doubt find something to support my prosecution.
I have found a letter proving that Dr. Asili voluntarily transmitted the Malachor to my cousin, Constantin d'Orsay. I would like to add that I too was a victim of this poisoning.
Did the accused try to take the life of the governor of New Serene? This is an extremely serious crime.
Indeed. He saw my cousin and me as the ideal control group to prove his theories. And no humanitarian or diplomatic consideration could put a stop to his ambition.
This letter alone is crucial proof. I will put it on our file.
Do we have any chance of winning?
Yes, I am rather confident. You have provided overwhelming evidence. But if we had witnesses, we would have an even bigger chance of winning.
I will return to you soon. The Nauts should be at the port, and the islanders had to take refuge in Vikshadir. As for the scientists, they said they would go back to the governor's laboratory. I should give this powder to someone who can tell me what it is.
так, ладно, погнали по очереди. Всех приобщим к делу. Ах ты черт. Блин. Это хреново. Да твою мать!
Is everything all right?
Once again, thanks to you. These people wanted to kill me.
They certainly wanted to prevent you from testifying at the doctor's trial.
The doctor will be judged. I suppose you'd like me to testify about how we suffered.
Indeed. If you do not fear another attempt on your life by these men.
Don't worry. I won't put up with intimidation. From now on, my people will watch over me until I can testify. And I intend to witness the execution of our torturer. You can count on me.
Thank you. Your word will be crucial during the trial.
Отлично. Так, теперь нам надо... Кажется, вот сюда. Нет. А, вот.
Hello. I see that you're back to work.
Indeed. We were not bothered thanks to you. And here I can make myself useful. But I don't think you're here to ask about me. What can I do for you?
What is your purpose here?
I helped Dr. Unur to understand the research of my former master. He's the one who became his successor.
I do hope that he doesn't use the same methods.
Of course not.
What about your other colleagues? What's become of them?
They felt guilty. They stopped their experiments and returned to Al-Sad.
What do the other scholars think of Dr. Asili now that his actions have been revealed for all to see?
Most still admire him greatly. He was the greatest amongst us, you know? They didn't witness what was happening in the lab, and they have little interest in the natives. For them, the main problem is political, given that the war against the rebels cost us dearly. Until they understand the horrors that happened there, they will not have any moral issues.
I discovered this strange powder in one of the laboratory's chests. Do you know what it is?
I did see the doctor using it once or twice, but I don't know what it is. But I can study it for you if you want. I have the tools that will allow me to do so here.
So? What is it?
It is a quintessence of black blood. Probably created using the blood of numerous patients. The doctor managed to harness the very concept of the Malachor in this powder. A single pinch ingested by someone would be enough for them to be afflicted by the disease. With the quantities that you brought me, hundreds of people could be contaminated. It's terrifying. I cannot believe Asili would do such a thing. Here, these are my notes. I wrote down all the details of my experiments, as well as my conclusions.
Thank you. I will relay them to the prosecutor. Are you prepared to testify against Dr. Asili?
Yes. I kept silent for far too long about what was going on in that lab. I know what we did was wrong, and I do not want it to happen again.
Thank you. Your story could change the outcome of this trial. I must leave you. What she saw working alongside Asili obviously upset her. She will make an excellent witness.
Здорово, носатый. Что у нас тут? Ничего интересного нету. Куча коробок с бумагами.
Doctor...
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
What is your role and what is your research topic?
I'm in charge of the Governor's laboratories. My main research concerns the Malachor, of course. Above all, we searched for a way to reduce the suffering of the sick.
Searched?
Now that we have access to my colleague Asili's work, it gives us hope of finding a cure.
So the crimes he committed while conducting his work do not concern you?
He will be judged for that. But it would be a shame for him to have done all this for nothing.
What do you think of Dr. Asili now that you've learned how he conducted his research?
Well, obviously the few excesses he has conceded himself are unfortunate, but he remains the greatest scientist that the Alliance has ever known. His work has had a profound effect on science. It seems quite unfair to me to reduce his life's work just to what he has done lately.
If I understand correctly, you will be one of his defenders.
Naturally. I don't deny that he made a terrible mistake, but he meant well. And he was probably acting on behalf of our helplessness to combat the Malachor.
Would you agree to speak at the trial? Your influence could be crucial.
Oh, but I already intended to give a statement. His lawyer came to find me.
So are you ready to defend a man who used to torture and murder to advance his research?
Indeed, because I think the entire work of a scientist should not be judged on a single mistake. It is obvious that he should not have used such methods, but Asili has never been very political. I doubt he understood the implications of his actions.
So you're saying the only problem in this case is political?
Essentially, yes. The war he nearly caused could have been expensive for our governor and the city, but let's not fool ourselves. No tears will be shed over the fate of a few of those bloodthirsty savages.
Thank you. I must leave you.
Так. Не туда. А если просто альфа?
Dr. Honor, what do you want?
Afra, did you have something to say to Dr. Honor?
Thank you, Desade. I feel it is my duty to warn him. You probably know that I was one of Dr. Asili's students.
Naturally. It is undoubtedly under his influence that you have developed this remarkable analytical spirit.
Perhaps. But my analytical mind also pushed me to refuse to continue working with him. I saw his madness and cruelty grow deeper, and what we discovered in this laboratory was abominable. We must condemn him, not only so he can pay for this crime, but to free science from these kinds of abject methods.
Very well. You've convinced me. I will now testify for the prosecution. It is true that it's time to turn the page and leave his cruel methods behind.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Honor is an influential scholar. His testimony would convince the judges.
Отлично. Так, что там еще у нас осталось на повестке дня? Блин, а не выйдет ли сейчас?
I'm glad you came to see me. I wanted to talk to you.
I'm listening.
I'm still a bit inexperienced when it comes to
Да
these,
ёб
but
твою
I would,
мать.
and if you were so.
I'm sorry, Afra. You are an extraordinary woman and a very dear friend, but nothing more.
I understand. Forgive me for asking. Let's not talk about it any longer, please. Anything else?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Teleme.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
I must leave you.
Так, блин. Это очень интересно, очень забавно, но как теперь без этого сделать?
Your Excellency, it's always a pleasure. Is there anything you would like?
Пока что.
Thanks for your visit.
Такие же. Блин, даже не интересно получается.
Hey! You are the Onol Menawi who freed us. We managed to reach Vikshadir.
They told me what you did for them, Renaikse. Well done. I was able to give them the care they needed. Some wounds will take time to heal, but they are safe thanks to you.
I'm happy to see that they're better.
But you didn't come here for that, did you?
No. I came to ask for your help. The doctor who captured and tortured you is about to be tried for his crimes. He has a lot of support among his people. He's a respected man despite what he did. If we don't have testimony from some of his victims, he will surely be released.
You'll have our words. We'll go to the Grand City and tell our story.
And the Mad Lion will die for causing so much harm to our people.
May the earth engulf him. You can return to Hikmet. I'll make sure they get there in good health.
Thank you, Tiernahach. And thank you all. I blame myself for forcing these poor people back to the city where they have suffered so much.
My people are strong and proud. They will not be afraid to speak in front of your judges for justice.
Так, где тут камень перемещения? А вон он. Блин, выходит, с ней по-любому надо поговорить. Так, и что тогда мутить? Да-да-да-да-да. Ну, патовая ситуация, патовая.
I'm glad you came to see me.
I'm listening.
I'm still a bit, but I believe. And if you were so
Ладно,
It would be my pleasure. Meet me outside my room the next time we return to my house.
I'll be there. Anything else?
I would like you to tell me about Asili.
I was expecting you to come and see me about this. What would you like to know?
Were you aware of Dr. Asili's experiments?
In part, yes. That's why I chose not to be his student any longer.
Why not say anything?
Because I never thought he would go so far. Over time, he became more and more cruel. I found his approach brutal. As if by meeting the natives it deprived him of all humanity. He spoke of them as test subjects, never as people. But there was a time when he was the greatest doctor and scientist in the Alliance. And I clung on to that memory.
You do know that you were captured thanks to him?
Yes, but I thought the natives wanted to trade us merely as prisoners of war. I was blind. And stupid. I regret it terribly.
Do you think, as your master does, that science justifies all sacrifices?
No. I may have believed that at one time, without of course ever imagining that we'd resort to such cruel treatment. But Dunkus, you and Siora have opened my eyes to the limits of science. To worship it as we do in the Alliance does not make us better than Thélème.
In your opinion, were the horrors practiced in this laboratory necessary for his research?
No, even if he was convinced of it. General interest outweighs the suffering of a few individuals. He wanted results quickly, to the point of neglecting slower, more humane methods. I hope we'll succeed in ensuring these experiments never happen again.
Would you be willing to testify against Dr. Asili during his trial?
Of course. I was going to talk to you about that. I want to convince my colleagues that we must give up these kind of methods. And even if it costs me dearly, I want my master to pay for what he did. Anything else?
I must leave you. I believe our investigation is coming to an end. Let's find the prosecutor.
You have returned, Your Excellency. Do you have any news on our matter?
A Naut victim of Dr. Asili agreed to testify at the trial.
Excellent. This kind of testimony will certainly rattle his defense.
The islanders will testify at the trial. Their injuries will surely convince the judges.
Indeed. But do bear in mind that the islanders are not highly regarded in Hikmet.
I managed to convince the scientists in the governor's laboratory to speak in our favor.
Excellent. These are not direct witnesses, but if they denounce the doctor, we are sure to be heard.
I even got a testimony from one of Dr. Asili's colleagues.
Perfect. That will convince our scientists, and you know how important they are in Hikmet.
Afra, one of Dr. Asili's former students, has agreed to testify.
Excellent. This woman is very respected by the governor. Her statement will carry a lot of weight.
An alchemist studied the powder that we found in the laboratory. Apparently it's some kind of concentrate made from the blood of several patients with the Malachor. It seems that less than a pinch of this powder is enough to contaminate whoever consumes it. There's enough here to make a small town sick.
A terrifying thought. I will add the analysis and this powder to the evidence on record. You have gathered overwhelming evidence. The defense will have a hard time saving the accused. I think we can go to trial with confidence now.
Will the trial begin soon?
It seems to be the right time. Excellent investigation work. I think we have every chance of winning.
Where will the trial be held?
At the palace. I regret to inform you that you will not be able to attend. However, I'm sure the governor will keep you informed of the outcome of the proceedings.
Madame, congratulations. The trial was exemplary. Asili's madness was exposed to the entire world. And you have demonstrated the horror of his methods.
Thank you, Excellency. But all praise should be showered upon Sir de Sade. The evidence he supplied was irrefutable.
It was necessary that you hear the victims, in order to understand the extremities to which your science has taken you.
Come now. One cannot conclude that science was guilty here.
Not science, but the savants were. It is never right to set aside humanity in the name of the common good. No knowledge justifies killing or torture.
Your words are wise, and I promise to remember them.
You have not always shown yourself a man of impeccable judgment, Excellency.
We are all, from time to time, victim of our own blind enthusiasm, that is true. But this trial has shaken my usual resolve. It may very well change the course of history.
Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, and to what do I owe this honor?
I have to go. Look forward to seeing you again.
Farewell, my lord.
Где там казнь будет проходить? О, отлично.
Afra, are you certain that you want to attend this?
I do not want to attend. I must.
Dr. Asili, you have been found guilty of all accusations brought against you. In consequence, the Bridge Alliance Tribunal condemns you to death. Do you have any final words?
You treat me like a monster. But how many times have you stayed your own hand? So close to the goal to finally find a remedy, you would have done as I. What do a few lives mean when the future of all humanity hangs in the balance? You are nothing more than idiots, incompetents, and you, Baron, are the greatest hypocrite of all. You know that I am right.
Executioner, earn your pay.
You know that I am right.
De Sade, I'm happy to see you. Can I do anything for you?
Tell me about your studies with Dr. Asili.
He was not always mad, you know. He was a renowned doctor back in Al-Sad. His unusual methods saved many lives, and I was very proud to be amongst his students. He taught me a lot. He was a great teacher. He was strict and severe, but he always pushed us to do our best. It's only when I joined him on the island that I understood that there was something wrong. He seemed changed and completely obsessed with the Malachor. You know it killed his wife and 2 children. He was so shaken by that, he no longer showed any restraint in his research. Such a waste. For the natives he massacred as well as for science.
I'm under the impression that you've not learned as many things as you wanted by observing Duncas's clan.
That's true. I hope to discover the physical or alchemical mechanism behind their metamorphoses. But instead, I don't know. I think I now understand the bond that unites their people to this land. The links that connects them and the power of their culture. It's unexpected. I wonder if this couldn't become another subject for study. The study of people, their customs and beliefs. If I said that in Al-Sad, people would think I've gone mad, but here, everything is possible, right? Learning about the natives would allow us to stop being afraid of them, and to see them like fellow humans at last.
I must leave you.
Так, ну что ж. Блин, чуть-чуть осталось записи найти.
Greetings.
Ну что ж, придется так. Ну, наверное, таким составом. Блин. Короче, ясно, все то же самое. Все, вспомнил, где это. Угу. Да.
Deward! Hello, my name is Desardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation. May I enter?
Good day, Legate Desardet. No. This building is closed to Renaigse.
I am Siora, daughter of Bladne, daughter of Meb. My mother, the Mal of the Red Spears, was a member of the council.
All here remember, and the Vorst Tirse. She was a courageous Mal, but you are not yet Mal in her stead, and you do not carry her seal. I am sorry, Siora. I cannot allow you to enter.
I beg your pardon. I did not know.
If I cannot enter, perhaps you could tell the Elder of the Council that I request an audience.
Glendon cannot speak with you, Legate. Times are difficult, and his time is precious. He only accepts to meet the members of the Council or their representatives.
How can I prove that I am the representative of one of them?
If you are a trusted friend of a Council member, he will give you his seal, and we would know it. I will then be glad to allow you to enter. You would be the first Renaigse to obtain such an honor.
Here is the seal of the Denegad Katasach, of the village of Wenshavier.
And so you are a trusted friend of the great healer. He must see your true face and find it worthy. Enter. You are welcome.
I give you warm greetings, Glendan. I am Disarday, legate of the Congregation of Merchants.
Your merchant congregation sways me very slightly from my path. But you are a current of Katasach. His trust in you makes me stop and look at you. What brings you here?
I seek a remedy. My cousin, as well as many other people on our island, suffer from a terrible sickness. We think that only Enon Miel Frichteman can help us find a cure.
Really? And Katasach sent you to see me?
He told me that the only way to meet with your god was to come and see you. You would judge our worthiness.
Judge your intentions? Yes, that I can do. But even if I should do this, you would have many trials to pass. For the path you seek to follow has only been tread but a very few times, and you are the first Renaigse to set foot upon it. We must begin where everything begins. There is a trial. The trial of water. It will show us the reflection of your soul.
What must I do?
You must go to a cavern and tell me what you see on the seal you will find deep in its center.
And this cavern is guarded, I suppose.
That is true. But the simplest solution is not always the best. It is a path with many forks. I hope you will prove that you understand the spirit of our people and our island. Go now. Show us your true face, and return purified by the waters of the cavern.
What can you tell me about the sanctuary?
It is the most sacred place of the island. The hidden face, and still seen by all of you. Enol Mil Frichteman. I protected these doors like my father before me and his father before him. And still none of us have ever entered.
Am I to gather that there has never been a High King in your family?
We are heads of the Council of Kings. And so it is prohibited for us to present ourselves. We must remain impartial.
I see. And so you cannot speak to me about what you find inside?
The heart of the island beats near here, the volcano. And I know that it is a place full of life.
What can you tell me about your god?
That the word God is too small to hold him. He is Tia Fradi in all and everything. The wisdom of his people, the gentleness of his rivers, the strength of his volcano. You are looking for wisdom to heal the Renaigse, but you still see it with the eyes of a sort of Donegat. He is much more than that. He is the essence of all life, of all magic, the spring.
Can you tell me anything more about the role of the Council?
We gather here at every long night and every short night. During these nights, the clans are in disagreement and come here looking for wisdom of the council, and of course also the High King. Those who have complaints against their Mal may also be heard here and find justice. And when important events take place, if the balance is threatened, then we also meet here, so that the wisdom of all might be shared, and that we might act as a same people.
I must leave. Goodbye.
Qua awelem seg.
Karantz, I need to talk to you. I have to ask you for another favor.
I'm listening, Siora.
Do you remember the mine shakers in my village?
Yes. If I understand correctly, there was some kind of an agreement made with them.
Even though these priests would make good allies against the Lions because they hate them as much as we do, my mother would never have traded the spirits of the people of the village in exchange for their help. And she would have wanted to be buried according to our rituals. She was deeply attached to our traditions.
So you think that they're lying?
Yes. And you understand these Renaigse better than I do. Will you investigate this matter with me?
Of course. Let's go.
You have spoken to Glendon as you wanted. What more can I do for you?
I was asked to pass the trial of water. What do you know about it?
I have never passed it. Only those who must reveal their soul walk this path. The High Kings and Queens. It is a tremendous honor given to you, Renaigse.
Do you have any advice to give me?
I only know that the trial can be passed in many ways, and your choice will reveal the makings of your soul. One way is through strength, the other by ruse and heart. But I know no more than this. The trials are kept secret. Anything else?
Nothing else, thank you. I need to leave.
Good luck. And do not lose yourself in your own reflection.
Да чтоб тебя, мы где? Понятно. Ну, кстати, может там. Что ее сестра там скажет?
Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Thanks. Goodbye, Aseld.
Так, пока не надо.
Hello, my child. What a pleasure to see someone come to us with such eagerness. Do you want to hear the word of Saint Matthias and come into the light?
Not really, Father. My name is Desardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. What can we do for you?
What exactly do you hope to do in this village?
Well, bring light to these naive souls, of course. When we spread the word of Saint Matthias, I'm sure they will embrace our faith with fervor.
Anything else, my child?
We would like to know more about the agreement you supposedly sealed with Bladnid.
I do not see how our agreement concerns the congregation. But since you are asking us, we swore to provide this village with all our support in their fight against the Alliance.
In exchange, its inhabitants will have to renounce their pagan cult and turn towards the light.
My mother would never have made such an agreement. She's the one who encouraged me to become a Donegad.
The Queen had understood that the light was the only true path, even if she was attached to traditionals. It is for this reason that we have accepted to seal our agreement according to your own rituals.
She had an engraver come to Val Ristel. He carved your strange symbols in the stone.
I do not believe a single word of this. You, the people of the light, are nothing but liars.
You would do well to hold your tongue, young lady. This village is now under our spiritual authority.
By not respecting us, you are committing blasphemy. And blasphemy is a crime that we punish severely.
Because you think that you can administer justice here. I am the daughter of Bladnid, and you are...
Siora, let's not get into another battle and make new enemies. Let's go find this stone.
That is an excellent idea. Then you will see that we are telling the truth.
Так, ладно. О, нифига себе. Ну-ка, что нам ее сестра скажет?
Siora, Asir, always with your new friend. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
No, nothing new, sorry.
Continue searching.
Так, тут нужен кое-кто другой.
Do you want to trade? Do you see anything you would like to exchange?
Ну, давай посмотрим, что у тебя там. Угу. Ну ладно.
If you want to trade again, you know where to find me.
О. Да, твою же. Что-то у меня стелс хромает. Короче, не там я пошел.
On Almanawi. Да, блин.
enlightened protect you in this battle.
Found the Dara Grimadaramdam.
May the shadow engulf our enemies. Protect me in this battle.
Found the Dara Grimadaramdam.
May the enlightened protect you in this battle. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
О, тут что, можно пройти? Раз можно, значит нужно. Пойдет.
Here's the stone we were looking for. It is destroyed. We can no longer decipher the symbols. Strange, isn't it?
This stone was damaged on purpose. We will never know the precise terms of the agreement.
There may be a way. Promises in stone are a very ancient tradition. Those who want to make these agreements must turn to a keeper of promises. An artisan who makes the stones speak. There are but a few. We did not have one in our village before Karadek's arrival. He must be the one who engraved this stone.
I thought you could not write.
The Donegada have a secret writing that the keepers of promises always learn. Those who want to seal a promise tell them to write, and they take care of it.
Угу. Опять в деревню бежать. А потом опять сюда. Ну ладно.
On Almanawi, do you want to trade? Do you see anything you... If you want to trade again, you know where to find me.
Strange. It looks like no one's there, but the door's left open.
Oh.
Empty. Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. Empty. Everything is broken and turned upside down. A sculpted engraved stone. What happened here?
It seems like there was a fight. Everything is scattered around.
It's as if someone wanted to meticulously destroy everything in this workshop.
The owner must have left in a hurry, taking a few things and destroying the rest.
Unless someone else did this. We must find Karadeg.
Do you know where he might be?
This engraved stone bears the mark of Baraeg Nodas, Dunkas's clan. Do you remember him? Karadeg originally belonged to this clan. He may have returned.
Let's go to Vigigador, and we'll find out.
Забавно.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle.
Ох ты, нихрена.
May the shadow engulf our enemies.
А! Кто? Что? Ах ты ж сука. Как-то, блин, они странно бьют тоже. Вроде не бил, а у люлей я схватил. Отомстил за выстрел в спину. Пойдет.
What brings you here on Almanawi?
We're looking for Karadeg, the Keeper of Promises.
Did he come back to your village?
He did come, and then he left. We could not take him back.
Did you exile him? Why?
He is the one who left. He disagreed with our stance on the Renaigse. He thought that we should be fighting them, throwing them back to the sea. This is why he joined the Gaesrad. And I did not want him to return if it meant that he would bring his hatred with him.
Do you know where he might have gone?
He feared someone or something, and he wanted to hide. He must have left for the woods, south of here. He knows the area well. Is there anything else?
I must leave. Goodbye, Dunkus.
Qua awalam say.
He's over there.
О, точно.
Siora, Bertir Tumad Donegad. What are you doing with these strangers?
These strangers are my friends, Karadeg. You can speak in front of them without fear.
What do you want?
Tell me about your role as Keeper of Promises. What does it consist of?
Most words must be free and able to fly like birdsong. But some words must survive those who utter them. So they call on the Keepers of Promises. Those who want to become one must win the trust of the Donegada and prove their wisdom. Then they teach us the words of stone. And when someone wants to seal a promise, we offer them those words.
So you're a kind of cleric? Thank you, Karadeg.
Do you want to know anything else?
We would like to ask you about a stone you supposedly engraved.
It is the stone of the Renaigse, isn't it? I should never have accepted to seal such a promise. I did not like them, but I could not refuse to fulfill my duty. Not when Bladnid was demanding it. And now that she is no longer with us, these Monasinaiga are chasing me.
It is because you are the last person to know what was engraved on it. The stone has been destroyed.
I kept the piece of tree bark in which I prepared the glyphs. All the details are there.
With this tree bark, we could verify what my mother promised. Can you give it to us?
No, Donegad. I do not mean to disrespect you, but I will not. The Renaigse only bring us trouble, and you come with them. They will disappoint you just like they disappointed your mother. I do not want to deal with them ever again. They threaten my life. And because of them, I am forced to hide here.
Since you want to chase the Renaigse away, and since you want protection, why don't you join the rebels? We could indicate the location of one of their camps for you.
The rebels?
The Donea Exregao. They fight the Renaigse, and they accept people from all clans.
I have heard about them, but I didn't know where to find them.
We could help you join them, but we need this tree bark. It's the only way to prove that the priests lied.
In that case, take the tree bark. I hope that it will help you to chase these Renaigse away, Donegan. And I did not think I would say this one day. But thank you, Renaigse.
What do these glyphs say?
That we will assist the priests in their war against the lions, and they must help us in return. There is nothing about the spirits of the people of the village, or renouncing our traditions. I knew they were lying. Let's show this to Iselt.
My child, what can we do for you?
Do you maintain your version of events regarding the pact with the Queen?
Naturally.
If I were you, I would have taken some time to think before replying.
Really? Because we found the man who engraved this stone. A man that you wanted to silence. He gave us a piece of tree bark with the words the Queen had asked him to immortalize on the stone.
You see? Destroying the stone was not enough to hide your lies.
This is regrettable, but apart from this child, we're amongst civilized people.
If this village is so dear to you, then you know that it will not survive another assault from the Alliance without our help. Even if they don't know it, they need us.
What would you say if I offered you this hefty sum of money to forget about your unfortunate discovery? For the sake of the village, of course.
As despicable as this agreement may seem, my colleagues are not entirely wrong. This village has suffered a lot from its first battle against the Alliance. Having allies would allow them to hold their ground.
I will think about it.
Tell me you do not intend to accept their offer. We will manage to defend ourselves without them. Let's go see Iselt without delay. We must tell her that they lied and chased these men away from our village. Siora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
Azeld, about this pact your mother supposedly made with the priests.
Yes. Did you find anything new?
We went to Falristel to see the stone.
Were you able to read it, Siora? No, because it was destroyed by someone. I am certain that the priests did it to protect their lies. You're probably right, but for as long as we cannot prove it...
We retrieved the piece of tree bark that Karadeg used as a model.
Siora, what's written on it? Mother promised to help them against the lions, and they promised to help us in return. There's nothing mentioned about them settling here, and even less about them being entitled to the spirits of the people of our village. So they lied.
They mocked us and insulted the memory of our mother. I think it's high time they left. Don't you agree? I think so too. Come on, let's go. You lied to us. You took us for gullible children. Leave this village at once. You will never be welcome here again.
But if you want our help with the Alliance, your people must convert to the light.
By lying, you have insulted the memory of the Queen. The entire village will be happy to make you pay for your affront if they hear about it. You do well to leave before having to face their wrath.
We are not here to shed blood.
Very well, we're leaving. But we will not forget your role in this matter, Your Excellency.
I did not think they would leave of their own accord. Thank you, Onol Manawi. Thanks to you, we managed to chase away these lawyers. And we will be able to perform our rituals and give our mother back to the earth. Yes. Thank you. Our village is in your debt. Siora, I will need you for the ritual. Will you help me? Of course, Asir. Karans, do you need something?
I must pass the trial of water. Do you know anything about it?
I have heard it talked about. It is a trial that all must pass if they wish to become the High King. One says that the trial reveals the true personality of those who pass it. My mother passed it during the last election. But it was Vinbar that was elected in the end.
Did she tell you about it?
A little. But it is a secret trial. It is important that you give your whole heart to it. I know that you must choose your path in your way. Combat is not necessarily the best response, even if it allows you to get to where you are going. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed. And there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Блин, он достал мне своей спиной.
Karans, do you need something?
How did you know that those missionaries were lying? After all, given the situation, your mother could have wanted to form an alliance.
I knew my mother well. We were close. She would never have renounced her beliefs to forge an alliance.
I think I understand. Your island, your culture, and your faith are so closely tied that you cannot renounce one without renouncing the others.
Exactly. The earth talks to us because we believe in its spirits. Without these beliefs, we would be but empty shells. Our mother would never have wanted that for us. I am happy to see that you understand us so well. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so different?
If you're talking about physical differences, they're linked to the fact that Iseld is not Onol Manawi. When we were little, we were perfectly identical. But our tempers were always different.
What kind of child were you?
I suppose I was very curious and studious. I loved when our father taught me the name of some plants and how they could be used.
And you haven't changed? Isn't it out of the same curiosity that you chose to follow me?
At first, perhaps. But the more I know you,
the more I find other reasons to stay with you. Anything else?
I've never heard you talk about your father. Who was he?
He was the Donegad of our clan. He died many cycles ago, but this memory is still painful. So we usually avoid the subject.
What happened to him?
He was killed as he tried to escape the lions who wanted to capture him. My mother never really recovered from it. This is one of the reasons why she decided to go to war. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
Так. А если так попробовать?
Karans, do you need something?
How did you know that those... After all,
I knew my mother.
I think I understand. Your island?
Exactly. Without these, I am happy. Anything else?
Why are you and your sister so...
If you're talking... When we were little...
I have no trouble believing it. And I'm glad that out of the two sisters, it's the gentler one who is by my side now.
Gentler? Really? The lion soldier on the battlefield would not have agreed. Anything else?
Понятно.
I must leave you. See you later.
Так, ладно, тут вариант мне нравится больше. Но походу пока дальше ничего не выедет.
Karans, do you need something?
How did you know that those... After all...
I knew my mother.
I think I understand. Your island?
Exactly. Without these, I am happy. Anything else?
Why are you and your sisters...
If you're... When we were little...
What kind of child were you?
I suppose...
And you haven't changed?
At first. Anything else?
I must pass the trial.
I have once... My mother...
Did she tell you about it?
A little. I know that you must... Combat is not necessarily the best. If you are confronted with animals, remind yourself that they must feed. And there are ways of altering food to make those who eat it fall into a deep and peaceful sleep.
Is that an idea that your mother used? It's clever. Thank you.
Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Значит, надо запастись мясом. Так, стоп. О, у меня там новое задание.
Karans, could you help me once more?
What is it?
I must prepare the ritual for our mother's funeral. And I think that I will need your help.
But your sister will be there. Surely you'd rather be together.
For the ritual, yes, it will only be the two of us. But before that, your support would be a great help. Will you come with me?
Ну, погнали.
Of course. I'd be happy to be by your side. Let's go.
Что, еще что-то?
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
I must leave you.
А, все, я не пропал нифига. Ну не беда, круганем. В кругаля сходим туда-обратно. Пофигу. Чё? Проблема что ли? Да, твою мать. Вот странно. Сюда за 8 с копейками часов, обратно за 10 с копейками часов. Почему?
Shiora, Asir, always with your new friends. Bertir to Madiseld, I'm happy to see you. What do you want?
I'm only here to accompany Siora.
I came to give our mother back to the earth, Iseld. It is high time we did, I know. Performing the ritual might help me feel less empty. Iseld, I miss her too. Did you go to Vasrigan? No. Preparing the place is the role of the Donegada. I was afraid I would not do things properly.
Ну ладно, погнали. Вон куда. В принципе, недалеко. Да чтоб тебя, ну. Так, с этой стороны.
We are approaching Vazrigan. This is where I will perform the ritual. This burial mound has been the final resting place of our queens for generations. It must be prepared before we can start the ritual.
Ну, окей.
Something's wrong. Normally, you would hear the birds singing in this place.
What do you mean?
She's right. Something isn't quite normal.
There. Tenlands. This is not their natural habitat at all. We cannot leave them here, so close to the burial mound.
Ну, будем, значит, их убивать. Твою мать.
You never see any around here. They must have nested in the shadow of the burial mound.
In that case, we have no choice but to destroy their nests. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming back.
You are right. We cannot let these carnivores roam so close to my mother's remains.
Сколько же вас тут, а? Посмотри. Ах ты ж падла. Воу-воу-воу-воу-воу. Ау! Да ну нафиг, что это было? Ах ты чё. странная фигня. Минус 1. Блин, они все в эту сторону смотрят. Давай, вожак стаи, выходи. Да чтоб тебя. Да ты падла. Ох ты ж черт!
Will no longer trouble the peace of our queen. All we have to do now is to take care of the ceremony.
Ну, давайте начинать.
Is there anything else to prepare?
Of course. We will need some sensors crafted especially for the ritual.
Where can we find them?
It would be ideal if we could craft them ourselves, but otherwise the village artisan probably sells them. And I will also need some mortuary lotion. I will have to coat my mother's body with it before giving her back to the earth. I will give you a list of all the ingredients because we will have to prepare it ourselves. The merchants won't sell it. Once we have gathered these last items, then Isolde and I will be able to perform the ritual. I thank you for being by my side and helping me the way you are. It means a lot to me.
Don't mention it, Siora.
Так, а тут я его сделать не могу. Видимо, не могу. Блин, до ближайшего лагеря в любую сторону далеко.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
На всякий. По-любому пригодится.
We have all that we need. Let's go back to the burial mound to put everything in place.
Конечно, сразу туда.
Here we are. It is on this stone altar that we will place the body of my mother. We must place a censer where her head will be, and another near her feet. And then you will have done everything you could to help me. And I am infinitely grateful for it. Your presence by my side means a lot to me. But only my sister and I can participate in the ceremony. This is how our ritual of the dead is performed. Do you understand? There. Everything is in place. Thanks again, Honor Manawi. My sister should be joining me soon. You should wait outside. Oh, these rituals are demanding. But they help us to say goodbye to those we love. You have been a true friend. A Karans, accepting to help me the way you did. Thank you. I will never forget the kindness you displayed. Conforming to our customs and staying by my side.
It's only natural, Siora. I know what it feels like to lose someone who is dear to you.
We should go now. It is time to return to the living.
Отлично.
Karans, do you need something?
What do you intend to do now? Will you become the Dunegad of your clan again?
I will most likely do it, but not now. I still have a lot to discover by your side.
I'm certain that I still have a lot more to teach you.
Discovering and learning are two different things for us. And you have to be certain of your own superiority before you can call yourself a teacher. Anything else?
Да-да, облом.
I must leave you. See you later.
Karans, do you need something?
What do you intend to do now? Will you become the Dunegad of...
I will most likely...
I hope that you do not feel constrained to do so. I would completely understand if you had to go back to your people.
You are a noble-hearted man, and a true Onol-Manawi. Do not worry. I'm not staying because I feel constrained to do so, but because I like being with you all. And especially with you. Anything else?
I must leave you. See you later.
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
Ничего, что-то где-то я не угадал, походу, да?